Okay, so we started a discussion with website and blog development, which is the second important aspect of your unit 1. And we covered up with, we started the discussion with what is website, then we discussed about types of websites. We discussed about what keywords are and why they are important, and why we choose a keyword, why keywords are an important aspect of your digital marketing. How keyword are selected. So there's a certain amount of research that is required to be done. We do this research to primarily understand the main qualities that the keyword should include, which is your search volume of a keyword. Then we have competitiveness of a keyword, price of the keyword, the word count of a keyword. That means how many number of phrases are there as a part of keyword. The intent of the keyword, 3 different types of intent we discussed: transactional intent, navigational intent, and informational intent. Then we discussed common keyword types as branded keywords, which included the brand name along with some of the keyword which was associated with the brand name. Long tail keywords, collection of a number of phrases which forms a part of your keyword. Geo-targeted keyword and negative keywords. Then we discussed about how we use the keywords, the manner in which the keywords needs to be integrated in all of the content that is available on the digital platform, that is in your internet platform. We discussed about the domain name and the web hosting, concepts of domain name and web hosting. We started a discussion with what this blog is, because blog development is also a very important aspect of your managing the content. So it's an online journal or informational website displaying information in the reverse chronological order with the latest post appearing the first. So post is the information that is being inputted by the marketer as a part of blogging website. So the purpose of the blog is to aid marketing to a point where it is to aid marketing to a point where the content you deliver is targeted specifically to the wants and needs of your audience. Wants and needs are in terms of the information that the online user is seeking as a part of their browsing on the internet. So blog is generally related to the content which mostly the online users may be looking for, specifically to an area concerned. Then we discussed who the blogger is, the blog post, which is an article or writing that is posted as a part of your blog website or blogging website. Blogging is the action of maintaining and writing the blog. Blogger is a person who writes the blog or who posts a lot of updates with the blog, that is content that may be a part of the blog that he has created and written. Some of the reasons for blogging is it helps a lot in your search engine optimization because blog posts are related to content addition, right? And any content addition or updation that happens online adds on to the or eases out the search results on your search engine results page. Blogging also provides an easy way to keep your customers and clients up to date on what's going on, letting them know about the new deals and providing tips. A very important aspect of organic searches is that the more the content is updated, the more there are chances of it appearing on the top results of your search engine results page. And that is what, if your link, that means the blog post as a part of link appears on the top 5 results, there are chances that the traffic, that means the online users who have searched for that or who have used that keywords to search for a content, they drive or they land up in the web page where your blog post exists. So that is one of the reasons for blogging. Blog also allows you to build trust and rapport with your prospects. You give a lot of information, and you also get a platform to interact with your prospects as well as your customers, even some of your or some of the individuals who are part of the same industry that you belong to. Okay. Then comes your blogs can make money along with your product or service. Blogs can generate income from other options such as advertising and affiliate products. That means related products or products which can be information of the products which can be included as a part of your blog post. And blogging is flexible and portable, making it a great option for people to be a lifestyle entrepreneur. Some of the disadvantages of blogging is it requires a great deal of time because you have to think a lot and prepare your blog in a specific manner if you have to post some content as a part of your blogging website. So it requires great deal of time. You have to research it, think it, and the moment your draft is ready, you again need to revise it before finally posting it as a part of your blog. You need ideas also to write about. So any content which you are posting as a part of your blogging website, it should not be the same repetitive context that you may be using. So you may have to find out new ways or new reasons why you would post or you would add on some content as a part of your blog post. So you need ideas to write about. That also requires considerable amount of time. You need to offer more than the blog articles to generate the traffic. You just posting an article and then sitting back behind probably for the entire week is not how you operate your blogging website. So you have to keep on updating and also reacting and responding to some of the updates or addition which a number of individuals might be putting on as a part of your blog post. So successful blog needs email marketing as well, because once you have posted the article on the blog post, you need to communicate to the other individuals who might be interested in reading the content which is there as a part of blog post. So for you need to inform them using email. So email marketing is required. Some of the additional perks, such as there has to be a lot of content upgradation as well as updations, and an engaged social network such as your Facebook group. The payoff isn't immediate. Posting updations on the content or posting content on some new aspect with reference to your brand of product or with your reference to your company, it may drive a lot of or generate a lot of traffic traveling or getting transferred to the web page where your blog post is there, but then it may not ultimately result into creation of a sale. So that is why it is written the payoff isn't immediate. So although you may be investing a lot amount of time and efforts in maintaining the blog posts and updating the blog posts, but that the content which is a part of the blog post may not result into something positive in terms of some type of income generation on part of you as a company. Now, how to write the blog post in 5 easy steps. So this is where we were yesterday. To write the blog post, you first need to plan your blog post by choosing a topic. So on what topic you will be writing, that is important. So you need to plan on which area or on what topic you will be writing, and then create an outline. Conduct the research and checking of the facts. That means after you've created the outline, you need to be sure whether the information that you have put as a part of your article that will be posted on the blog post, whether it is correct or not. So you need to do research and check your facts. Then craft a headline that is both informative and will capture readers' attention. So creating a very effective and attractive headline. That means just by reading the headline of the blog post, the online user might get tempted to read the entire article. So crafting a creative headline is important, which is the second step. So the headline should consist of the content that should be both informative as well as it may capture the attention of the reader. Then the third step is writing the post. Either writing a draft in a single session or gradually word on parts of it, right? This means gradually word on parts of it means you draft something and then you may take a break, and after a few hours you may again get back to completing that entire blog by putting it all the details into it, right? So that is what is gradually word on parts of it. But in a single session, you write down, you sit down and you spend 3 to 4 hours and complete the entire draft of your article that you will be posting as a part of your blogging website. You may use images to enhance your post, improve its flow, add humor, and explain some complex topics. Then step 5 is edit your blog post. Make sure to avoid repetition. Read your post aloud to check its flow. Have someone else read it and provide feedback. Keep sentences and paragraphs short. Don't be a perfectionist. That means you keep on reading, revising, again reading, and again revising. So that is what it lengthens the procedure. And at the end, you might be posting the blog at a time which may not be appropriate for the online users. So don't be a perfectionist. That means everything cannot be perfect in the article that you have created. Don't be afraid to cut out the text or adapt your writing the last minute. If you remember, students, steps involved in effective writing. This you studied as a part of your business communication. Yaad hai? So that also included these steps. यही steps थे, है ना? आपने draft किया, उसके बाद आप उसको खुद पढ़ो, जोर जोर से पढ़ो, read it aloud to see कि सब चीजें ठीक से जो रीडर है उसको ठीक से समझ में आएगी. Or you take consulting, or you consult someone else, a third person, to help you out with the article, whether it is correct or not correct. So same steps are applied over here while you are writing the blog post. Now, some of the tricks that you should be that you can use to write effectively your blog post. For step 1, which is planning, choose the topic that interests you, because you'll be able to identify the relevant information that you can include as a part of your post. So that is why topic that interests you is the topic that you should be choosing. That is one trick. And write the outline for your post before you complete writing the entire article for the post. So for example, for the introduction, if you start with the introduction of your blog post or the article of your blog post, for section 1, you plan the blog post. Just keep thinking that what the bloggers will be doing before starting to prepare the outline. Then write the blog post. Again, you have to follow the basic methods that we discussed for effective writing. So you follow those tips. Then rewriting and editing the blog post. Once you have completed the first draft of your blog post, you need to again read aloud and find and understand whether the flow of content that you wanted to read, that you wanted the readers to read is appropriate, or you need to make some editing or some changes. So rewriting and writing and editing a blog post. Then optimizing a blog post. Optimization means again use of the keywords that forms a part of your search engine marketing. So you have to use those keywords in a manner that some of the keywords might be repeated a couple of times. So that is how you optimize your blog post, so that it appears on the top results of your search engine results page. So how to optimize blog post for on-page SEO, social shares, engagement, etc. And as a part of the last portion. That means how you end up the article that is that you plan to post on your blogging website. Doing a lot of research and checking the facts are some of the important tips, even if you have chosen the topic that interests you, because you need to be sure whatever information or content you are including as a part of the article of your blog post should be correct in all aspect. Now the another trick in terms of step 2, that is writing a great headline. There are two main approaches that you can adapt to write a great headline. You can either decide your final headline before you start writing the rest of your post. That means you know the context related to which you will be creating the blog post. So you can create a very effective and creative headline before you start writing that particular article. Or the second thing is you can write your blog post with a working title that may not be the final headline or title, and see what fits when you have completed writing the entire article, which will be part of your blog post. So two ways of writing great headline is you think of an headline which will be very catchy and informative, and you write that, and then you start writing the entire article. The second is you finish off writing the entire article with some working headline, and then finalize on the headline of your blog post. For the writing part, again, there are two approaches that can be adapted by you. One is that we discussed a little while ago, is you sit down, spend 3 to 4 hours and complete the entire article, which will be a part of your blog post. So your first draft will be completed. The second is you prepare an outline and then you give yourself a break, and then again come and fill in the content on the basis of the outline that you might have created. So you can either sit down and write an entire draft in a single sitting. The second is you can chip away at it gradually over time. There is no right or wrong answer here, only whatever works for you that you should adopt for writing your blog post. Then use of images as a part of your blog post. Images help your blog post flow more effectively, because pictorial depiction always gives a clearer picture to the reader as far as understanding the content. Then images also make great visual punchlines. Images make complex topics more easily understandable. So these are some of the reasons why you should use images effectively as a part of your blog post. Then the editing part. Once your first draft is completed, you need to revise it and edit accordingly. So some of the self-editing tips and suggestions to tighten up your writing as a part of your blog post is avoid repetition of either the information, content, or even the word. Read your post aloud to check the flow of the article. Have someone else read your work. Keep sentences short and paragraphs also shorter. Accept that your blog post will never be perfect. Don't be afraid to make cuts and adapt on the fly. That means while you are reading the blog post, and if you find that there is something which is not getting connected, so you may immediately edit that portion of the content which is part of your blog post. Now, this is the site which I was talking to you about, bloggers.com. So this bloggers.com you can use to create your own blog. There is a method, I mean, these are some of the steps which have been identified on how to create your blog using bloggers.com. So it is one of the best blogging sites in India, free blogging platform which has been introduced by Google. To use Blogger, to set up a free blog, you go to bloggers.com, click on create your blog, sign up with your Gmail ID, confirm your profile and continue to the blogger.com website. Then click on create a new blog, give your blog a name and pick up a subdomain and a theme that you would like. Subdomain is like, suppose you pick your name as subdomain. So it will be, for example, if the name is Maya, so maya.bloggers.com. So that is how it will be appearing to the others to whom you email of the content that you might have posted as a part of your blog in blogger.com. Once all filled up, click on the create blog, which will be a button which is available over there. Google will ask you like to buy a custom. Google will ask you if you would like to buy a custom domain. You can skip it by clicking no thanks and create your first post, and then finally you also have to click on publish it. Then only it will be available for others to view. So you can try this at home. Visit the blogger.com website. Now, blogs are also created on LinkedIn platform, which is, see, if you use blogger.com website to create your blog, the blog can be of anything. Some of you might be having cooking as one of your hobby. So you may create blog posts with reference to cooking of different dishes. So that can be done using blogger.com. Now, what happens when you're using the blogging platform of LinkedIn? You have to be careful. You just cannot create a blog with reference to any commercialized idea, right? Since LinkedIn is a social media platform for professionals who form a part of this social media platform, so the blog post that you will be creating will be more tending towards your professional interests, right? So there may be certain industry or domain that you may be very much interested in, and related to those industry or domain, you can create a blog article and post it using LinkedIn platform. So LinkedIn is a platform that brings together people from all professions. You can connect with people working in your field or literally with anyone from any field of work in the world. It's a social media for platform for professionals. Even though LinkedIn has blog writing feature, it is still not an ideal place to start just any blog, right? You cannot start with any type of blog on LinkedIn platform. It is best for an authority blogger. The LinkedIn blogging platform is not a place to start a fashion blog or a travel blog. It is a place to blog about your professional expertise like marketing, finance, business, investments, or whatever skills you may be having and you might have included as a part of your profile, that is LinkedIn profile. LinkedIn is a perfect place to showcase your professional skills and to create professional portfolio. Steps to start blogging on LinkedIn. You need to go to linkedin.com and sign up. Once you are done with your profile and logged in, you go to the home page. If you already have an account, you can directly go there, right? Where? To the post option of under your LinkedIn platform once you have logged in. On your home page, below the start a post button, you'll see a link, right? This is how it is indicated. You'll see a link that says write an article on LinkedIn. Click the link and it will take you to a new page opened on a new tab. In the new tab, the LinkedIn publishing editor will open, right? Which is by the name of your in publishing. Here it is given. LinkedIn, the symbol is IN, right? So in publishing, that will open up. First thing you can do here is adding a featured image to your article. This is the place where you can add that image to your article. Click the icon with two dummy images and a plus sign in between and select the image from your system and upload it. So first what you do is you link an image to your post. Once the image is uploaded, hover around the image and you will see three icons appear. These are the three icons. This, and this. At the bottom of the image, you can see the first one to stretch the image to fit in the full screen, or simply hit the middle icon to fit the image as it is, irrespective of its size, and use the third icon to delete the image if you have uploaded, So that is as far as editing the image that you might have uploaded. Below the icons, you can see a box that says add credit and caption. If you have taken the image from Google or anywhere else, and if you are not 100% sure it is free, you can use this option to credit the actual owner of the image or the source where you found it. It is important to mention the source if you have taken that particular content, be it picture, be it video, or be it your textual matter, from from source which has been posted by some other individual. Also, you can see this space to briefly describe the image if you would like. The fourth step is use the headline box as has been indicated here. Use the headline box to give a catchy title to your article, and use the content box below to add the content, right? Here. Right. So here you will have to add image or anything else, or you can even add the content. So text, image, video, links, etc. that can be added. You can use the text format bar at the top of the format, at the top to format your content. And once you are done writing your article, just hit the publish at the top right, and you can use the draft button next to it to save your unfinished articles to rework further or later. So this is as far now. These two blogging websites that I've discussed, you have to explore it on your own, students. One is your bloggers.com that I discussed, right? So you will have to have a Gmail ID, which all of you are having, so you can explore creating your own blog. And LinkedIn. I believe most of you may be having an account on LinkedIn platform. So just go through the steps which have been mentioned over here. You need not upload a picture, but please test it by writing something. And that something should be related to the skill sets that you might have saved as a part of your profile, that is LinkedIn profile. Now, this is the last portion of your unit 1 that we'll be discussing, although it is also a lengthy portion, is building website or blog using CMS WordPress. CMS is your content management system, right? Why this content management system is used? WordPress is a type of your CMS, content management system, because most of you may not be from the technical background. That means you may not be knowing how to code the web pages. So using content management system, it becomes easier for individuals to create a website for their business, right? So content management system is a software that is used to build websites and create content to be published on the internet. Typically, CMS allows you to create a website without writing any code. The reason being, it's a software. So coding happens automatically at its backend. You just need to choose certain options and your website will be created. So we'll go gradually through different steps that are involved to create the content using CMS, content management system. In the early days of the web, you needed to know HTML to be able to code a website and publish your content online. It was difficult when the creation of website and uploading it on the internet platform just started. But then gradually such type of softwares, content management system came into picture, and it became easier for any individual who could design their own websites as per the theme that they would want to, or even they could upload a number of very appropriate images as a part of their website. That used to be, that means coding knowing coding and publishing the content online without coding was difficult. So it used to be hard, but CMS has made it much easier. Instead of writing your website code from the scratch, the CMS software does it for you. With a powerful CMS platform like WordPress, you can log into your website dashboard and use a simplified interface to create your web pages, add content to those web pages, and customize the design. Then the CMS does the hard work of creating the code for you. With the right CMS, you can start a blog. That means you can even create your own blog using your content management system. Open an e-commerce store or a tutorial website, create portfolios, and we discussed almost 12 different types of websites. So you can manage some of them, especially those websites which are not very, very dynamic in nature. Dynamic in the sense which does not require a lot of updations to be made every day. So such type of websites can be created using your CMS, which is content management system. And WordPress is one example of your content management system. So some of the features of this content management system or WordPress. The first one is a website dashboard. Any good content management system allows you to use a simple user interface. Right, please? User interface may be a platform or web page which will have a number of options that you can utilize, click, or you can add some images. Such type of very user-friendly interface is provided, which is a part of your website dashboard of content management system. As a website owner, you can log into the website dashboard to customize your website. The dashboard can also be called backend or admin area of the website, because you as a user are using this dashboard to create your website or to do certain updations on your existing website that you might have created using your content management system. Clear, students? So far, is it clear?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so I'll move ahead.
Yes, ma'am.
Now, the second option or second feature of your content management system is themes to customize the design. Themes, you must be knowing, every web page, in every web page, you might be giving certain background or making it a slight colorful. So that is the theme which is known as for the individual web page, or maybe you can use one theme for all the 7 to 8 web pages which form a part of your website. So themes are also provided by content management systems. These CMS platforms usually let you change the look of your website by selecting the template or theme, right? What are these template or themes? They are pre-designed templates that let you change the layout, the colors, fonts, and other design aspects of the website. WordPress has thousands of free and premium themes available. Free is, of course, free of cost. Premium themes are priced. So you will have to purchase them. But they will be unique themes that you will be getting. Not everyone will be using those themes. Of course, free themes, you may find a number of websites using those themes as a part of their web pages. The third feature is your content editor. CMS platforms include a content editor that you can use to create and publish your web pages. So you can also add on the different content or various lines or textual matters and images using your content editor. Text editors are sometimes called as WYSIWYG editors, which stands for what you see is what you get. What you see is what you get. That is how it is. The short form is abbreviated in this manner. As you edit the text, you can see exactly what it will look like on your website instead of looking at the code. So the moment you start typing the text, the effect will be visible on the web page that you will be creating, and you will be adding content using content editor. So simultaneously, you'll be able to see the effect. Think of it like using an editor like MS Word or Microsoft Word. The fourth type of your feature is plugins and extensions. So these are features in the form of your software programs, or they are, as it is given over here, like plugins on a website are like apps on a smartphone. So you as a website designer or as a website owner would like to add on these plugins and extra extensions to provide extra features to your websites. So many CMS platforms let you add new features and modify your site in other ways by adding plugins, which on a website are like apps on smartphone. You can easily install them to add new features and functions to your website. You can use them to add new features like contact form or social media integration. That means if you would want to integrate or include or connect your Facebook brand specific page to your own website that you may be creating using your CMS, content management system, like your WordPress. So you can do that by using plugin. WordPress comes with over 57,000 free plugins. A little bit detail is given as to what plugin and what an extension is. Plugin is a piece of software that acts as an add-on to a web browser and gives the browser additional functionality. Plugins, you are able to hear, students? आवाज आ रही है बेटा?
Yes, ma'am.
हाँ,
Yes, ma'am.
धीमी तो नहीं हो गई ना? वॉल्यूम लो तो नहीं हो रहा है ना?
No,
No,
ma'am.
ma'am.
No, ma'am.
Okay, thank you.
No, ma'am.
Plugins can allow a web browser to display additional content it was not originally designed to display. An extension adds features and functions to a browser. It's created using familiar web-based technologies like your HTML, CSS, and JavaScript. It can take advantage of the same web APIs, which is application programming interface, as your JavaScript. Just remember, students, managing JavaScript or writing or programming using HTML or CSS is difficult. But using your content management system, WordPress, you can have a try at it. Open the WordPress and try designing a basic website. It can be a portfolio website, right? Where you can upload about yourself, about your skill sets. You may be having certain experience, so you can add those experience. You can showcase some of your work. You can upload the pictures of you performing some of the work, so that you can do and create a basic personal website. So it is very easy to prepare a website using content management system. And you can also add plugin and extensions, which will give add-on features or additional functionality to the website and accordingly the browser on which you will be opening the website. So this is as far as plugins are concerned. So we started with website dashboard as first feature. Then you had themes to customize the design, content editor. Then fourth one, we discussed extensions. The fifth one is your user management. With a good content management system, you can easily give other people access to publish content on your website. You can even assign them different user roles to control what they have access to. So using user management, you can add number of users who can manage your website that you have created using CMS, right? So that is the role of your user management, which is the fifth feature. Now, some of the benefits of using content management system rather than getting it coded using a web programmer. If you take the services of a web programmer, you'll have to invest more in designing and uploading your website in comparison to if you use content management system. So one of the benefits of using CMS is no hassle publishing. That means hassle-free publishing can be done of your website. A CMS allows even those without technical skills to publish content, make websites, and edit content using a simple dashboard. Convenient content scheduling. Content management systems allows content scheduling means when to upload or when to update the content which is already there on your website. So you can create a schedule of when to make changes to the content of your website. So content management system allows the site administrator to publish content with a click of a button. You can schedule posts to be published to meet calendar deadlines, business events, and even product launches. So you can upload the different content that needs to be published on specific dates, right? Creating a schedule. And just what you need to do is you need to log into that content management system and click on the link so that it can be published on that specific date. So you can do a lot of work well in advance. So convenient content scheduling is another benefit of content management system. The content management system works with any size business, whether you're making a website for a big name brand or just starting a business. You can use a CMS. With the right CMS and web hosting package, a combination of that can be purchased. You can create any type or size of a website. The content management system are affordable and easy to control. It allows beginners to manage sites of all sizes without relying on high-priced web developers to perform site maintenance or make routine changes. Just understand, students, just creating a website and uploading it on the internet is not going to help you a lot, especially in the area of your digital marketing, because the content needs to be changing quite often. It needs to be dynamic, whatever content is available in the context of your business. So there has to be a lot of updations or changes. So that is what is being talked about over here, that to even perform site maintenance or make routine changes, you will have to pay a lot of fees to your web developers, which can be reduced if you have your content management system. It allows you to choose who has access to your site. The next fifth benefit of content management system is ability to customize. It's easy to change your site design or customize with your own logo, colors, and style. You can also use plugins to add more features. Okay, so I'll stop over here, students, because I also have need to take some time for your attendance. Very little is left, 2 to 3 slides, but I'll cover this in the next class. So far, have you understood, students, whatever we have discussed today?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.